mean by, do I believe in it? Do I believe I should do what somebody who writes a column on astrology says? Of course not. And you know, the way they word it, it's so meaningless. They say, the stars say, since Mercury is in ascendant and your moon sign is Taurus, the stars say that today would be an excellent day for those of you who are planning to go to the company party to put on a nice suit of clothes. I mean, just, what is it? It's meaningless, but it's fun. It's harmless. Now I want to tell you about the greatest astrology story that's ever happened in my life. Several years ago, on my radio program, I was interviewing Joan Quigley. Joan Quigley, astrologer to the stars. Joan Quigley was Nancy Reagan's astrologer, and she had written a book, and of course had her on the program. What we were doing is I would have a listener call and give their birthday, and then Miss Quigley would tell that person something about themselves. For example, somebody might call and say, hello, Bob, I'm glad you have Joan Quigley on the program. 10/25/31. That was, 10th month, 25th day, 1931, or whatever. Actually, this woman was really 1951. Anyway, then Joan would say, oh, you're a Scorpio, and you're a very determined person. You're a person who is not a quitter. You're very intelligent. Say a few things, which I know a Scorpio who you could describe that way as very determined, very intelligent. Oh, intelligent. And of course, in this particular case, a knockout. But anyway, then we get a call from an individual with a very familiar voice. And he says, 2/6/11. That would be February 6th, 1911. And I'm looking at Joan Quigley, and she says, oh, Mr. President, how nice of you to call. And she has this conversation with the president. He was no longer president. This is after he was president. But they had this conversation, and Joan Quigley asked, how is Nancy? And he said, oh, Nancy is just fine, thank you. A very delightful conversation. And then the conversation concluded, and Joan looked at me while the commercial was playing. No, there was no commercial playing. And she looked at me and she said, wasn't that nice of President Reagan to call? He's such a nice man. At that point, I had to make a decision. And the decision was, do I tell her that it was really Jay Diamond imitating Ronald Reagan? I decided to let it go, because Joan Quigley was a nice lady, and I didn't want her to feel embarrassed. So she felt so good that it was, she thought, President Reagan calling. I let it go. And we never did tell her that it was really Jay Diamond. But Jay did such a sensational imitation. He would do it perfectly. And it's just amazing. He does me, I understand, very well. He calls up people and he bawls them out with my voice. And then I meet people and they say, well, why'd you say that to me the other day? And I say what? I didn't even talk to you. Oh, yes, you did. It was 10:25 in the morning, and it's Jay. How can you get mad at Jay? You can't get mad. It's impossible to get mad at Jay. You just can't get mad at him. There's a law that says you can't get mad at him. All right, let's see here now. What do we have? What do we have? Just thinking about Jay, I have to laugh. I think about one time at WOR. Jay and I have been at the same station, different stations at the same time. He's doing a show on WOR, and he does a drama, the Theater of the Air, and he's playing different parts of people he did not like, and nobody can hate as good as Jay does. I mean, it's great. And I will say this, the people he hated were people who deserved being hated. But he would do all these voices. And I remember the owner of the station came in and he said, what is he doing? What is that? And I said, you got to appreciate this. You got to appreciate this. These are people that he has a score to settle with. That's all. He said, it's funny, but I don't know what it's all about. Anyway, that's Jay.